Hello! Back for more. Fantastic. Welcome to another Retro Ramble with me, Ben Ridsdale. And this week, we're going to be looking at a game that was ported to the C64 in 1991. The original Amiga release was in 1990. That game? Well, it was the space strategy god sim type thing, Supremacy. To give it its full title, Supremacy, Your Will Be Done. Or if you're American, Overlord. Don't ask, have no idea. So what do you have to do in Supremacy? Well, I shall tell you. You start off by selecting a villain, a baddie, an opponent, call it what you will, from a group of 4. They range from incredibly easy to, I'm going to go and hide in the wardrobe, let me know when he's gone home. And when you've selected your opponent, you are taken to this screen here. It's a bit daunting, isn't it? And I found it a bit daunting as well. But what you'll notice is you have your system at the bottom of the screen, and he has his at the top. And you've got 6 systems between you. And that's if you help the easy option. And whatever you do, you're going to eventually end up fighting this guy. It doesn't matter. If you don't train an army and just terraform the worlds, he's going to get a bit annoyed and he's going to start conquering your worlds. So you really are at a losing end. Whatever you do, you are going to fight this guy because that's what it's all about. Supremacy. Who can control all the systems in this particular area of space? I'd love to have been in the meeting with the colonial officer, whoever went out to colonise that planet, because they've got an entire galaxy to pick from, or galaxies if you will. So at least 100 billion star systems to choose, but they decide to choose the one right next door to some mental case who doesn't like the fact that you're mowing the lawn at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning and has decided to build up a very loud army in his way of asking you politely to at least start mowing at about 11 o'clock. So as I say, you're pretty much screwed whatever you do, you're going to end up fighting him. Now, the more observant amongst you might have realised there's been no game footage, just a still. Well, I did record game footage, and I'm going to tell you why I've not shared it with you in this video. To be honest, it's a bit boring. I'm not saying the game's boring, the game is stunning, but it's one of those games that you can't really get a lot out of by just watching. You've got to actually play it. Because the game runs through a series of static screens. You have a main static screen, which I've shown you, have a static screen for colonial affairs, a static screen for your finance, a static screen for your army, a static screen for your shipyards, and that's it, a series of static screens. However, there is one exception. Look at this screen here. When you inevitably fight your opponent, this is the screen you'll be brought to. It looks a bit boring, a little bit daunting you may think. But one of the options you have is you can increase or decrease the aggressive nature of your troops. And that's done in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And this is what happens when you do it. Now, I think that's really funny, but I'm a bit weird. And you may disagree, you might think, yeah, that's actually quite silly, but I used to do that for ages. I'd just sit there while I was thinking, it's kind of like, I don't know, thinking aid, and I'd keep pressing the joystick button so it'd rack up his aggressiveness so he looked like he'd got rabies, and then back down to he looked like he was supposed to be collecting money at the local church. But I do that a lot, but then again, as I said, I'm weird. One of the things that makes this game stand out for me is the opening tune when you load the game. Not only is it the only piece of music you get in this game, it's a wonderful, wonderful tune. And it is performed by Euronymous Tell of the Maniacs of Noise, who has done some fantastic tunes. For me also, Turbo Outrun is one of his best. I'll cover that one another week probably. But this tune is fantastic, and I did play it at the end of last week's video, but I'm going to play you a snippet now. I said at the beginning of this video that I wouldn't be touching upon the Amiga version. Well, I think I will, just briefly. only to say how disappointed I was. Yes, it's more polished than the C64 version, looks a bit better, sounds a bit better, but the music at the opening is just disappointing. You'd have thought, with the wonderful, grandiose arrangement on the C64 version, the Amiga one would have been stunning. It's not really. Have a listen. I only recently discovered there was a Nintendo conversion of Supremacy as well, and I will have a look at that at a later date, definitely, because I'm interested to see how conversions of computer games, as in, Commodore 64, Spectrum, do on the consoles, because you had a few of them, but I might talk about that more at a later date. Now, Supremacy never had an official sequel, but I feel, and a few people with me on this one, agree that there was a spiritual sequel of sorts in 1996. And that was a game developed by the Logic Factory. That was called Ascendancy. Wonderful game in itself. And I will be doing a video on Ascendancy later on. Now that pretty much sums up Supremacy. I know it's not been my usual, hey look at this footage video, but I hope you've enjoyed it nevertheless. And as I say, I do apologise for the lack of game footage, but I have recorded some. And if you want to go to my channel, Rid Bensdale, link below, you can view what little footage I've got. And I might put some more footage up later on this week, I haven't decided. But if you're good, I will do. And that, my friends, is Supremacy. I hope you've enjoyed this short but hopefully sweet video on a wonderful game. If you would like to see the footage I recorded for the game, you can do by going to my YouTube channel, the link's below. Next week, we're going to go to the BBC Micro. I'm going to talk about a series of games that anyone who went to school in the 1980s definitely got in trouble off Surfer playing. I know I did. What's the game? Watch the outro, listen to the music. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us, and if you haven't already, subscribe. But I'll be telling you all that again in a minute. Take care. Bye for now. Down there, that thumbs up thing, give it a press. Give us a thumbs up. You know you want to. And also, leave a comment. Start a discussion. Tell us what you think. Tell us if we've got anything wrong. Because it's not us that's wrong, it'll be you that's wrong. But, it's a free country, you can say what you want. Bye.